Let me tell you about a woman who, at first glance, seemed just like everyone else. Her name was Ayesha. She lived in a world that constantly reminded her of what she lacked: money, status, power, but rarely reminded her of what she carried inside: a heart full of courage and dreams. Ayesha was the daughter of a humble school teacher. Her childhood was simple, yet full of wisdom. She watched her father come home every evening with tired eyes, but still carrying a smile for his children. From him, she learned discipline and kindness. From her mother, she learned patience and sacrifice. But Ayesha carried something else in her heart too: a dream to become a writer. She didn't want fame or wealth. She only wanted to tell stories, stories that could touch people, stories that could heal. Yet, as she grew older, the voices around her grew louder. Writing isn't a career. Focus on getting a real job. You're a woman, your duty is not to dream too big. Every time she tried to write, she felt guilty, like she was stealing time from her family. But every time she ignored her dream, her heart grew heavier. By the time she was 20, her life took a tragic turn. Her father passed away suddenly. In a single night, childhood ended and responsibility began. She told herself, maybe my dreams can wait. My family needs me now. And so, Ayesha stepped into the world not as the woman she dreamed of becoming, but as the woman she had to be. The next few years tested her like nothing else. She took small jobs, sometimes teaching, sometimes clerical work, sometimes anything that paid enough for food and rent. She gave everything to her family, keeping her pain hidden behind her quiet strength. But inside, she was crumbling. At night, she secretly filled her notebook with words. Words she never showed anyone. Words about courage, love, loss, and hope. Yet, no matter how much she wrote, fear always won in the morning. She would close the notebook, hide it under her bed, and step into a world that never believed in her. Soon, she started believing what people said. Dreams are for the privileged. You can't afford passion when survival is at stake. Who do you think you are? Her life became a cycle of survival, until one night, everything shattered. Her job ended without warning. Bills piled up. Her mother fell ill. And Ayesha, for the first time, felt truly hopeless. She sat on the floor of her dimly lit room, surrounded by silence. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered into the night, "Why me? Why can't I be enough? For myself, for my family." For the first time, she thought of giving up completely, not just on her dreams, but on life itself. But destiny has its own timing. As she sat there, her eyes fell on the dusty notebook hidden under her bed. With trembling hands, she opened it. She began reading the words her younger self had written years ago, words filled with fire, faith, and resilience, words that reminded her of the girl who once believed she could change the world. For the first time in years, Ayesha felt something awaken inside her. She realized, if my words could heal me tonight, maybe they can heal someone else too. That night, she picked up her pen again. But this time, she wasn't writing for approval. She wasn't writing for money. She was writing for truth. She began sharing small pieces of her writing online, simple reflections, short stories, poems. At first, hardly anyone noticed. But then, a message came: "I was about to give up today, but your words gave me hope." Then another: "Your story feels like mine. Thank you for making me feel less alone." Her words began to travel, touching strangers across cities, across countries. The more she wrote, the lighter her heart became. She was no longer the woman who had lost everything. She was the woman who had something priceless to give. Years passed, and the world began to notice Ayesha. She was invited to schools to talk about courage, to organizations to speak about resilience, and to international stages where she stood, not as a victim, but as a voice of strength. But her real success was not in applause or recognition. Her real success was in the quiet victories. Her mother's smile when she recovered and said, "I always believed in you." Her siblings chasing their own dreams, inspired by her courage. The countless strangers who sent her letters saying her words saved them. One evening, she sat by her window, looking at the sunset. She thought of the girl she once was, the broken girl who almost gave up. She whispered to herself, "Thank you for not quitting. Thank you for standing again." And that is where Ayesha's greatest lesson lies for all of us. Life will break you. Sometimes it will break you so hard you won't recognize yourself. But inside every breaking, there is a seed of becoming. Dreams may fall asleep, but they never die unless you bury them. And sometimes, the very thing that feels like your weakness becomes your greatest strength. Ayesha's story is not just about one woman. It's about every person who has been told they are not enough. It's about every dream that was once silenced but still waits to be heard. So, if you are listening to this right now, carrying your own battles in silence, remember her words: "Do not give up. You are not broken. You are becoming. And maybe, Just maybe your story will be the light for someone else tomorrow.